Now, remember, Chris, we just used to have a podcast, right?
Yep.
We were in a shower curtain. We were in a tiny little VO booth back in the day.
That's right. And we were the only one at NFL Media Group to have one.
That's
right?
true.
Yep.
And we kept expanding the brand until we then were doing the podcast as well as a weekly television show.
Television show.
Then, because of Thursday Night Football, we became just a sort of once every now and then, sort of like a Barbara Walters special type thing.
We did like
right?
7 or 8
We kept on
a year.
churning out the podcast. And who was the only one talking about the podcast internally and on the air on NFL Network?
Well, you.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Because my phrase is, if not me, who, and if not now, when?
True.
Had to sometimes twist the arms of people, say, can I mention it on the air? But I just decided to say, screw it, I keep doing it. The amount of crap that I would get from my on-air compadres. Marshall was a major violator of this. Mooch, Kurt, on occasion, Michael Irvin would just chime in. He wasn't leading that charge of, do you have a podcast? Do you have a podcast? I didn't know you had a podcast, even though they fully knew I had a podcast.
No, he piled on, though.
Now who's got a podcast?
Hey.
The Michael Irvin podcast, launching this week. Michael Irvin, podcaster extraordinaire on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Irv?
Rich, how are you, man? Rich, that was great, Rich. You know, and since I do have a podcast and getting into business, that right there,
yes,
it's just a great way, you know. When I was shooting it, and Stephen A, he gave me something right in the midst of it.
Yes.
You know, about the business of hosting.
Yes.
You see,
Yes.
you see that talented gift of what you just did. You brought yesterday in and placed it on today, and you use it in a way that we drew the audience back to where we used to be. And as we pray, that's just brilliant stuff, buddy.
Irv, I appreciate that, but you
and that's
look.
why I'm getting into business, Rich. I'm learning, so now I want to apply.
Well, so here's the thing, Michael, is because there may be an I in Rich and Eisen in the same way that there are two I's in Irvin, and you can't spell Michael without me. I am still a team player. Had you told me that Stephen A was your first guest, I would have worked that into game day morning yesterday, first hour, when Stephen A tweeted at you and we put the tweet on. Like I would have put it all together. I would have made that not only quality content for our show, but also a not so passive aggressive promotion for your podcast. I'm here for you, Mike. Just feed me the information. Help me help you. Is what I'm saying.
I appreciate that, Rich. And you know, it's so funny you bring that up, Rich, because in all out seriousness in what I say, you know, I text Stephen A that when we I said, man, I missed a moment right there.
Yes.
And I said, I know you would have gotten it, and I know Rich would have gotten it, but I missed it. Right I promise you, I just send you the text that I text him that, right? There's some things I need to learn in that aspect, but that's the fun part of it. That's interesting that you bring that up.
Okay, so
it is fun.
You knew in advance that he was going to be your first guest as of yesterday, or please tell me the Cowboys' recent exploits in Seattle had not yet happened, and you are going to speak to Stephen post Week 3 action.
No. Actually, no. I wanted all of that in there. You know,
okay.
I thought it would be a disservice to him to do it right after Week 2 and the jubilance of the Atlanta victory. So we wanted to give some semblance to it. So we waited to after the game yesterday, and that's a good call. That's a good call because there's a lot in there.
So I guess then
all I can tell you is, again, I get so heated with them. I seem to always sweat whenever we're getting it. And I was sitting here saying to myself, Rich, looking at my shirt, why am I sweating like this? You know, why am I sweating? But yeah, we talk about it pretty heavy.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here